So I thought today we could look at if there are any real-world examples of AI agents doing work, which I thought was appropriate because in my last video we looked at what the Microsoft CEO said, and he basically said there's going to be hundreds of thousands of AI agents that are going to be deployed across organizations. I guess before we get into this, we should probably like define uh, AI agents. Define AI agents, and I think I was. This is going to be always one of those things where people might like sort of disagree, but I think the main thing is that there's some like predetermined goal, usually a bigger goal, not just like a small task that this AI is working towards. So I think that's going to be like the definition that we're going to go with. So they're going to be goal based. They're basically based on some larger goal, not just oh, can you help me refactor this code like a normal GPT. They're usually integrated with something and are working towards some goal, and they make their own decisions with little interference. So based on that, I thought we could look at this Hacker News post, which was only posted less than a day ago, and it's 2025 is the year of the agents. I agree with that. That's like the key term we keep hearing every day. I've heard about SDR AI agents, but not great things. Most agents sound like workflow automations that have been around forever. Yeah. Uh, Anyone have an example of an AI agent which I understand to be intelligent that isn't glorified or rebranded workflow automation? The answer is probably going to be no, but we'll see what people say. So been in a big code land for 20 years now and have seen the rise and fall of quite a few AI, ML, RPA, etc. fads. Honestly, the whole landscape seems broken and unproductive at this point. Um, okay, so let's see. Countless vendors, platforms, cloud environments, industry technical jargon is something I do hate. All with different pricing models, SLAs, toolings. Getting anything usable is a challenge. Um, I think we're going to continue with some other comments. Let's see. I too would like to hear some examples. I might get back to this. Uh, on one hand, you have gurus claiming AI agents are going to make all SaaS redundant, which I disagree. And on the other, claiming that AI isn't going to take any coding job. This is true. I don't know where I fall on that yet. We all need to start preparing now for changes that AI is going to cause. Yeah, that's true. Let's see. We haven't actually found anything yet. Okay, I like this distinction from automation by Bartosz Pusek. At its core, an agent is software that can take in a task description, break it down into steps, execute those steps using available tools, adapt its approach based on feedback. Okay. The key distinction from traditional automation, agents handle variance and uncertainty by replanning rather than failing when their happy path breaks. Okay, so this is more to do with like the definition. I quite like that though. So traditionally software fails, breaks, it throws an error, and you go look at a log and see what happened in your automation, and then you write some sort of fix to make sure that doesn't happen again. Um, Saying an AI agent, and I think the problem with words like agent always, I guess we call them sort of these, industry jargon that sort of gets too big and means too many things. It almost comes down to a definition problem. Uh, so yeah, I quite like this distinction. So an agent would adapt and try to adapt its approach to then try to solve this automation again. But again, so far I feel like we've had no one really saying anything about actual AI agents. Um, Seems impossibly broad, probably. See, again, this is just again arguing on the definition. So, what's wrong with an agent being a glorified workflow? Yeah, again, I think this is just jargon. It's sort of like you can call it whatever you want, you know? Just does it do what it needs to do? It seems pretty natural for agentic AI to be used in AI workflows. Here's a video we put out demonstrating this week. Um, I guess we can check that out.
I'm sure you've noticed The buzz around the term agentic lately, specifically
Yeah.
agentic AI. But what makes an AI tool agentic? Well, according to this blog, if you're using an LLM purely for reasoning and external memory, then you're not necessarily using an AI agent. What defines an AI agent is its
So like if you're using ChatGPT, it's not an agent.
ability to execute multiple tools towards a goal, and ideally the planning of how to get to that goal itself is also figured out by the large
So it can do the planning, it can do the execution, so it's integrated with whatever tools it needs to do those things.
language model or the agent. In other words, the agent is going to figure out what tools it has in its toolbox and
Yeah.
also the plan for how to fulfill the goal the user has. I started thinking about what it might take to build an AI agent. Of course, I want to orchestrate interactions across many data stores and many tools, but I need to hold state of that interaction potentially over long periods of time while my agent runs. I need the ability to self-heal because if the probabilistic LLM returns
I might actually change the name of this video to what actually is an AI agent, because
bad
that
data,
seems to be what it is about at the
I
moment.
need to be able to retry until it returns good data without having to manually intervene in the agent. I don't want my agent running tools without my approval, not if they're important, so I need human in the loop approval. I also need parallel processing for efficiency. And finally,
Yeah, I think this idea of approval is good. Let the AI agent go and do it, but I want it to send me a notification like, is this what you want me to do? And then I can say
I want to
yes
see
or
what's
no.
going on inside my agent as it runs on a single conversation level so I can troubleshoot perhaps individual problems, but also across all conversations so I can improve the agent's overall performance over time.
Also, the other thing you want it to do, it's sort of like, this is quite a common thing already, sort of in companies. It's like, don't come to me with problems, come to me with solutions. I think typical automation or historically automation, it comes to you with a problem. It comes to you with a log error. What you want this AI agent to do is, I ran into a problem. I can recognize I've run into the problem. Here is how I can solve it. There's multiple ways I can solve it. I want you to tell me which approach to use.
And I'm a solutions architect at durable execution
Because you don't want problems, you want solutions.
company Temporal, so guess which tool I think excels at all of these things. I thought I'd build a proof of concept AI agent using Temporal. On the left, I have my agent interface. It's going to take me through finding an event to go to, finding the flights to get to that event, and invoicing me for the cost. And on the right, I have Temporal's UI. It's going to show me the agent running as a workflow. So let's chat. I'd like to travel for an event.
Okay, so you say I want to travel for an event.
The LLMs come back to me asking me, well, where do I want to go and what month I'm interested in. Over here, I can see that I've got my agent workflow running. This is the Temporal UI. You can see the event history is beginning to be filled with me prompting it and the LLM responding. So let's tell it Auckland in March. Okay, the agent has determined it has enough information to run its first tool. The tool is called Find Events. So let's confirm that and it will run. And on the right, you see Find Events has run after my confirm signal came.
So again, the key thing here is this is a goal. He's stated a goal, and it's integrated with a tool to find events.
Into the workflow, and it's
so
found
this
two events
is
for me.
like more
Fantastic.
agentic,
How about
even though he is just conversing with a sort of chatbot.
the arts festival?
But there's always going to be an interface.
But also, I'm going to ask it to add a couple of days either side so I can enjoy Auckland a little more. And sure enough, it's agreed to that request, and it wants to know where I'm
Where did you see this art festival? I'm guessing it was somewhere.
coming from. Let's say I'm coming from LA.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And there you have it. It has added a couple of days either side, and it knows I want to go to Auckland from LA. Let's find some flights. You see search flights is running here. Now it's finding real
So
flights
again,
with a real API.
it's integrated
It looks
with
like
all
it's
the
found
tools it
Cathay
needs.
Pacific for that much money.
Again,
Well,
I feel like
maybe
we
there
have
are
gone
other options.
massively off topic,
Maybe other
but I think we get it.
flights.
It's pretty neat.
Let's see.
Let's see where it gets to.
API to create a test invoice, and it looks like it succeeded. Fake invoice. So
Pretty
I'm gonna get
cool.
charged for
I
it.
think
There you have
what's
it.
really cool is that you can just do
Is
it all
my
from
AI
within
agent.
the app.
Goal, and I could have seeded it with any tools that I preset up. But in this case, I said, you're going to find flights, you're going to generate invoices, and here are the tools.
Cool. No, I like that. I like that. We did get distracted. So most agents are just starter prompts, a small set of tools that they can use, to respond to things. The video of this is definitely a video about what is an agent. So the name for me is less important. Yeah, I agree with that. So much as I can have something that does my work for me. Again, humans naturally think about what goal they're trying to achieve. So I think these agents make sense like this. I've been starting to play with my own solutions between the 3 foundational modal companies. I started to try to build my own stuff a bit. I think I need to learn more about Apple scripting. Also, so far, my experiments have required me to have multiple systems running to make it super easy for me. You're all going to laugh at this because it's so remedial and also clearly not agents, but a couple of things I've done, I won't really say I use this stuff daily, I just play to see what I can do. Yeah, that's what it's about, just play around. I figured out how to pass screenshots back and forth between modals. I have another computer take a screenshot every 30 minutes, and then to another machine. That machine is set up with a mouse hovering over the upload button to Perplexity. It uploads a screenshot, and then Perplexity does the work from the screenshot. What's this?
In 24 months.
I feel like we're discovering some fun things.
Year 4, we aim to achieve significant market penetration and
I don't know what this is because I feel like I didn't actually.
In 24 months.
I probably should have finished reading the whole thing, but I'm just too lazy for that. Another thing I found actually works pretty well, setting up two computers next to each other with ChatGPT voice mode. If you use some custom instructions to be sure to wait for another one to be talking, they don't interrupt each other. Well, so you just have two ChatGPTs talking to each other, fair enough. Here's a talk from a month ago that covers a few use cases that are definitely beyond simple, glorified workflow automation. This is too long. We're not going to watch that.
A JavaScript web app. It's got full authentication. It's got event creation and management.
I guess we can sort of do like
in your
times
back
two.
end. Gives you a decent starting point. You can then work with that chat agent and refine and test it. Really cool stuff. Now, in many cases, start to finish and get how much they're able to reflect to improve the quality.
We're not going to watch this video. It's a bit long. If you want me to watch it, we can maybe watch it in a separate video. I'm not exactly clear what you're asking. Where do you draw the line between workflow automation and doing work? To me, it just seems like a spectrum with rapidly moving goalposts. A decade ago, enterprises had quite a lot of roles involving essentially moving data from the ERP screen to another. So sales up here, I was just tasked with figuring out how to use AI to use previous quotes to generate new quotes so salespeople don't spend so much time creating quotes. Seems like, no, this is that's not, I would say that is not agency work. Sales ops, like, because what they're doing is they're just using input data to generate output data. For me, that's not being an agent. Replace the word agent with algorithm and I agree. So let's do that. Sales up here, I was just tasked with figuring out how to use AI to use previous quotes to generate new quotes so sales people don't spend much time creating quotes. Seems like the perfect thing for an algorithm. Yeah, anyone done this? This is not agent work because it doesn't require it to go and sort these things out itself. You know, you can just give it the data. I don't know. Again, this is a definition problem. These are the things I hate. Ultimately, you could argue it doesn't matter. Is the tool making your life better? Then maybe it can be an agent. I think maybe if it's got a chatbot which is integrated with your quotes and then it can generate new quotes and I don't know, you play around with it a lot. I don't know. I think this is a grey area. I think maybe ultimately it doesn't matter. I'm not sure about that. Sounds like a poorly thought out requirement. It's not a goal. Yeah. Okay, let's continue. I have mentioned this. So far, I feel like no one has really said... Maybe there was one guy, but, you know, the tool we looked at, but it's more promoting their own tool rather than... So I guess that was agentic, but that wasn't anyone actually using it. That was just their tool, them showcasing his tool. So I've mentioned this on Twitter recently. My stream there is full of people talking about agents being the future, several posts on how to make them, but almost zero examples of any that they have built or used. Yeah, I guess we're not quite there yet. So far this thread has produced zero. So Gemini with deep research has been really awesome to work with. It's useful already now, but gets me very excited to see where the agent work goes. So I don't really know what this is referring to, if I'm honest with you. So obviously I know Gemini's Google. I know that much. So this was 11th of so this was exactly a month ago. I think it's the 11th today or 12th or something. So deep research rolls out. Gemini advanced subscribers today, giving you hours of time. Plus you can now try. I can listen to the article. Deep research your personal AI assistant here. Blah blah blah. Tunnel of trends. This feels like a chatbot integrated with just the internet. Like Perplexity. I might be wrong. I don't know. I didn't really want to read all of that, but I'll have to take their word for it. I don't know if it's an agent again. I guess it could be done for learning. If your goal was to like learn something specifically, it could just keep testing you and then giving you more information. And then I think that's the difference. It's like taking new inputs and it, like, has it reached its goal? No. So it starts again. I think it has to be something that's more complex than just like, you know, fix this code for me or generate a piece of text for me. It has to be like able to work out itself if it has reached this goal, or at least sort of ask you if you were happy and satisfied with the goal. Yeah. I mean, let me know your thoughts below if you want. I don't still understand what really the hype is here. Agent is just a smart function calling router. Yeah. It's just a buzzword. At ground level, nothing more, nothing less can be called a smart or bot 2.0 or something. But agent is way too much. Agents are the new middleware for workflow automation. I like that. That's kind of a way of looking at it, because I think when you've, yeah, I think what I like, it's my definition, and it might be wrong, from what we've been reading of agents, is an agent, rather than failing at the error, like normal automation, it can detect it's failed, and it has solutions on how to get around it, and it can fix those things. Now, maybe that's specifically agents in a sort of workflow automation type process, and there's other use cases as we've seen, but I do like that as a sort of difference. But I guess it's still workflow automation. I don't know, but it is essentially middleware. So far, no one has given an example. I think just a buzzword for investors, given we peaked with language models. Yeah, that's probably true. Workflow automation is going to be the goalpost to beat. Reminiscent of, are there any substantial examples of blockchain solving real problems? I think this is true. And by the way, yeah, I mean, I don't have any. I have some Bitcoin. I don't have any other crypto. Are there any substantial examples? Many people solve their lack of money problems through launching blockchain-related companies. 41 comments when I write this. There's a ton of will, cloud, might, but there's no is. The concrete examples point out sales pitches. There is utilities, but they are definitely not mainstream. And this is from quite a while ago. It's a very similar post though. And I actually think it comes down to Feynman on what things are called. I don't know if this is going to bring up what I want, but if you've never read Surely You're Joking, Mr. Feynman, it's a book. It's a great book. So, I guess this is a quote. So, you only know something about people, what they call the bird. Now that thrush sings... Well, yeah, knowing the name of something doesn't mean you understand it. That's sort of his main thing. Knowing the name doesn't mean understanding. Comprehension is beyond words. Connect to shared experiences. Anyway, it wasn't the greatest analysis here, but I definitely recommend that book. We have sort of gone massively off topic. Actually, this comment is basically saying exactly that. The name for me is less important so much as, can I have something that does my work for me? Oh yeah, I think we'd already read that. But yeah, that's what it comes down to. Is the tool better than what it was before? And if it is, you can call it whatever the hell you want. Anyway, I guess we're going to leave it there. I don't really think... Yeah. That's it. That's going to be it for today. Leave your thoughts below.